This has to be our most spectacular flower. This is the Bee Orchid, and I know we have rare orchids both in Nottinghamshire and across the UK, but to me this epitomises everything you expect from an orchid. Many people probably don't realise that we have orchids here in the UK, and we actually have quite a good number of orchids. In Nottinghamshire we don't. We've got a decent range, but although there are rarer orchids in Nottinghamshire than this one, I don't think any of them come anywhere near the Bee Orchid for pure beauty. It really is a fabulous flower, and named after being supposedly very similar to a bumblebee. I'll leave you that to your imagination, because all I see when I look at this and look in the centre of the flower, I see a laughing clown. With a bit of imagination, you may also see that, and I might be able to do a graphic that shows that, but in the meantime, you can't help but admire what a fabulous flower this is. And it's not out of the reach of many people, to be honest, because it's found in unusual places and is turning up now in increasing numbers on many of our former colliery spoil heaps. But it's not just confined to those brownfield sites. There is one site in Mansfield, Crown Farm Industrial Estate, where numbers of this plant grow on roadside verges. It's quite astonishing where it can turn up. It's outside a well-known large supermarket just off Oak Tree Lane in Mansfield. And although you may think this is a really obvious and conspicuous flower, it's surprisingly inconspicuous and easy to miss, especially when it's growing in longer grasses. Although this isn't an orchid of long, uncut meadows. It likes the more drier areas of ground with generally shorter grasses. And once you've seen one of these, or noticed one of these at a site, you'll suddenly start to see it all over the place. It really is a most stunning flower, and I'm glad that it is doing so well. I think it's increased in the last 30 odd years. In the 1980s, when I was considerably younger than I am now, I never dreamt we had orchids in Nottinghamshire, or indeed even in the UK at one time. And then I saw common spotted orchids and early purple orchids, and I was thrilled with them. But when I first saw this plant for the very first time, I was stunned and mesmerised, and I can easily see why people get into orchids. It's an absolute fabulous plant, a glorious flower. There's not many flowers that have that sort of deep pinkish hue to the flower. Beautiful things. Architecturally stunning, but there again, all orchids are stunning architecturally. So, when you next walk into your local supermarket or walking your dog on the pit top, have a look for the Bee Orchid. June is the prime time. This one has just started flowering, and the light is fading here. We're getting towards late evening, and the sun is slowly heading down towards the horizon. Doesn't stop this thing from being absolutely stunning.